Were you and the coaching staff able to talk about what happened Friday and move on?
Y'all asked that question to them, huh?
What about for you?
Y'all asked that question, so y'all know the answer to that.
Hello guys, welcome back to TFD with another round of NBA drama that's got everyone talking. So here's the deal. The Memphis Grizzlies just suspended their own star player for being a distraction. Yeah, sounds familiar, right? Last time we saw something like this, it was Jimmy Butler down in Miami. Jimmy talked his talk, got into it with the team, and the next thing you know, suspended. A few weeks later, he was wearing a different jersey. Well, history might just be repeating itself, because the same exact thing just went down with Ja Morant. After a rough loss to the Lakers, things clearly boiled over. You could see it. Ja was disconnected, frustrated, not giving his usual fire. He finished with only 8 points and was visibly checked out. Reports say head coach Toumaz Isalo called Ja out in front of the entire locker room, saying he quit on his teammates and lacked leadership. That's a big statement, but Ja's reaction? Let's just say it didn't go over well. Instead of taking it as motivation, things only got worse, and now the Grizzlies have officially suspended him. This story is far from over. Then he just strolls right up to the mic like it's his moment.
What went wrong to you today?
Go ask the coaching staff.
Do you feel like, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
You go ask them. They had a whole spiel in here, so.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff. Should I play more or not?
What had been done? What could have been done different to get a different outcome, other than asking the coaching staff?
According to them, probably don't play me. Honestly, that's what basically the message was after. So it's cool.
The coaching staff message was
It's
it?
cool. Man. We good?
You didn't have anything physically wrong in terms of illness or anything?
Oh, no,
You
I'm
were
good.
under the
I'm
weather.
fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
Well, that's not good. The Memphis Grizzlies have officially suspended Ja Morant for conduct detrimental to the team. Shams reports that several teams are already keeping a close eye on how this situation unfolds. But the big question is, what exactly has Ja so frustrated? And if things can't be fixed in Memphis, what would a potential trade even look like? Well, ever since Ja Morant was labeled as the next face of the league, it feels like everything has gone downhill. First, there was the infamous "I'm fine in the West" comment, a moment that screamed confidence, but aged terribly. Then came the off-court issues, suspended 33 games in 2023 for firearms incidents. After that, another fine for making gun gestures during a game. And now, here we are again. People can say, oh, it's no big deal, he's just being himself, but come on, it's not a good look. The one thing every true superstar needs, beyond skill and highlight reels, is maturity. That's what separates legends like Tim Duncan and Steph Curry from the rest. You can't lead a team without it. Sure, teams will tolerate some immaturity if the talent is undeniable, but lately Ja's production and behavior haven't matched that superstar standard. The league wanted him to be the next big thing, but right now, he's drifting further away from that title. A two-time All-Star in 2022 and 2023, then suddenly, silence. Ja Morant has fallen off, and fans can't help but wonder what happened. Well, according to Shams, the issue goes deeper than just bad stats. Apparently, Ja's been frustrated with the new coach and his offensive schemes, which feel eerily similar to last year's disaster. See, last season, the Grizzlies decided to reinvent the wheel. They scrapped the traditional pick-and-roll heavy offense, something every elite guard thrives in, and replaced it with this bizarre isolation-heavy system. Instead of screens and ball movement, it was 5 guys just trying to beat their man one-on-one. Sure, it looked flashy, but it left Ja feeling completely boxed out of his rhythm. Memphis actually led the NBA in drives per game, but that didn't make Ja happy. According to The Athletic, some nights he looked locked in, other nights he seemed completely disconnected, like he didn't even want to be on the floor. The offense just wasn't built for him. Eventually, that tension boiled over. The front office made the call. Out goes Taylor Jenkins, the winningest coach in franchise history. In comes Thomas Isalo, a new European mind with a reputation for structured, team-oriented basketball. And sure, on paper, things look a bit better now. The offense is smoother, Ja's running more pick and rolls again, and his touches have climbed from 68 to 76 per game. But even with those improvements, something still feels off. The spark, the energy, that fearless edge that made Ja one of the most electric players in the league, it's flickering. The question now isn't just if he'll adjust, it's whether Ja can truly find his groove again in this new system, or if the Grizzlies era we thought was just beginning is already fading. But hold up, check this out. Ja is still way below his peak when it comes to pick-and-roll usage. Back in his All-Star days, he was running around 12 to 13 pick-and-rolls per game. Now, that number's dropped to just about 8.5. So yeah, the new coach is technically letting Ja be Ja, just not enough for Ja's liking. The stats don't lie. It's not that big of a change from last year's offense. And from Ja's perspective, he's thinking, don't you want me to be special? Don't you want me to play my game and dominate? And sure, when Ja's cooking, that helps the team, no question. But here's the other side of it. Do you really want your entire system built around one guy like he's Luka Doncic or Giannis? Or do you want a more balanced, team-first offense like the Thunder or Celtics, where everyone eats? Because that's the real problem with Ja right now. He's explosive, he's dynamic, but he's also undersized, still a defensive liability, can't stretch the floor in 2025, and most importantly, he's not reliable. Between suspensions and injuries, Ja has missed about a third of the games he could have played in as a Grizzly. That's a massive chunk of the season. So ask yourself, do you really want to keep building the whole franchise around that? Probably not. That's why this new coach, along with the front office, is quietly reshaping the team beyond Ja. They're planning for the future. And the truth is, Ja can't stand it. If the offense doesn't revolve around him like before, he's just not locked in. Doesn't matter how much he's getting paid or what his title is. If Ja Morant isn't the centerpiece, he's just not all in.
So now the Grizzlies are staring down a massive decision. Do they wait it out and hope Ja turns things around? Or do they move on? I know, that sounds wild, but remember, this is the same team that just traded Desmond Bane last season. Bane was 27, their best shooter, and arguably their most consistent player. Yet, when Orlando came calling with an offer too good to ignore, Memphis pulled the trigger. The Magic sent over Cole Anthony, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and 5 first-round picks. That kind of deal doesn't come around often. But now the question is, what's Ja Morant even worth in today's market? And who would actually roll the dice on him? Because when you break it down, the picture's not pretty. He's an undersized guard who still can't shoot from deep, offers little on defense, has a long history of off-court issues, including that infamous gun incident, and now he's locked into a max deal during the brutal second apron era. That's a nightmare for cap flexibility. So yeah, the Grizzlies are stuck between two bad options. Either they sell low and get a weak return, or they ride it out with Ja and hope he somehow matures into the franchise leader they thought he'd be. But the truth is, most GMs around the league wouldn't touch that contract or that baggage unless it came with serious sweeteners. At this point, the only teams that might even consider taking the gamble are desperate ones, rebuilding squads looking for a marquee name to sell tickets, or a front office trying to make a splash. Because let's be real, Ja's talent is undeniable, but so are the risks, and that's the dilemma the Grizzlies can't escape.
Well, when you start thinking about teams that could actually make a move for Ja Morant, your mind immediately goes to those squads that need a point guard right now. Like teams that are desperate for a true floor general, a shot creator, and somebody who can still bring energy to a locker room. So let's just throw out the obvious ones first. Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Milwaukee Bucks. But beyond needy, I'd go with desperate. Like a team that's willing to take a big swing on a player with baggage because they believe in redemption and upside. A team that still thinks Ja can get back to that all-star level of play we saw not long ago. So, who fits that description? First one that jumps out, the Phoenix Suns. Imagine a deal where the Suns get Ja Morant and the Grizzlies get Jalen Green plus control of 2 future first-round picks. Yeah, that's selling a bit low on Ja, but let's be real. That 2032 pick swap could end up being incredibly valuable down the line. Jalen makes less money than Ja's max contract. He's a better shooter, and he's still got room to grow. From a Memphis fan's perspective, though, it's going to sting because you're trading the face of your franchise for potential. Still, sometimes potential is safer than uncertainty, and Ja's off-court issues have made him anything but dependable. The other team that screams desperation, the Sacramento Kings. I mean, when was the last time they landed an all-star without drafting him? Exactly. Sacramento could send over Malik Monk, Dennis Schroeder, and control of 3 first-round picks, which could be huge, especially outside of the one from San Antonio. Monk gives you shooting to offset what you lose when Desmond Bane isn't on the floor, and Schroeder gives you another steady ball handler to fill some of that Ja role. From the Kings' perspective, it's the kind of gamble small market teams have to make if they want to stay competitive. They're not about to blow things up, so this would be their big move. Other wildcards? Sure, the Toronto Raptors, who are just flat-out struggling right now and could use a star to give fans hope again. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who need a successor to Mike Conley if they plan to extend this championship window. Even the Portland Trail Blazers, who are clearly in the early stages of a rebuild but need some top-tier talent if they ever want to escape play in purgatory. Now, some fans are saying, just blow it up, man. Trade Ja, restart, rebuild. But that's not the move. The beauty of this current Memphis Grizzlies roster is that they're not Ja dependent anymore. The front office has quietly been building a structure that can survive without him. They've got another all-star and defensive player of the year in Jaren Jackson Jr., solid young pieces like Jalen Wells and Scottie Pippen Jr., and even more youth coming in from that Bane trade. Add rookie Cedric Coward, who's already turning heads, plus one of the sharpest front offices and most innovative coaches in the league, and you see why they're fine with him with or without Ja. Bottom line, Memphis isn't being held hostage by Ja Morant anymore. And if he keeps up the drama, he's going to realize fast that 2022 Ja, the untouchable superstar, is gone. The league moves on quick. Get down in the comments and tell us what you think. Would your team take a shot on Ja? And don't forget, like and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this.
I would say I have a lot of understanding for the players who say this. I think a lot of players have been conditioned throughout their career to play in longer stints and to go find that rhythm. And basketball, just like every other global team invasion sport, is evolving. And the demands on the intensity are higher and higher. And we are looking to also adapt to the times. And that's one of the things. And yeah, a lot of planning, a lot of feel goes into planning the sub patterns. I think what's often forgotten is what comes out, the actual sub pattern. It's to optimize results in the short, medium, and long term. That is the only goal of the sub pattern, to find a competitive advantage from it. There's some, like, it's a good question to ask, because you could say, okay, what are you maybe not getting if you're getting intensity and pace being one of our key components to some of our, especially here in the early season, you might be sacrificing some, let's say, chemistry within the units, because they might play shorter times together, or it might be more substitutions in an NBA game that already has a lot of stops in it. So I understand the concerns, and we're after the best overall result, like I said, in the short, medium, and long term.
Carmelo Anthony on the situation between Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. Ja has to man up. You're being tested again to see if you're going to fold or withstand the test of time. The coaches are testing you. The organization is testing you. The city, the fans is testing you. For me, how are you going to bounce back? How are you going to move on from this? How are you going to own up, man up, look yourself in the mirror, take ownership to your part and still go out there and do what you got to do. Put your big boy pants on. Let's go play basketball. Carmelo Anthony's message to Ja is simple but powerful. It's time to grow up and take accountability. Every challenge Ja faces right now isn't meant to break him, but to test whether he can rise above the noise and mature as both a player and a leader. Melo is essentially saying, no more excuses, no more drama, own your mistakes, accept the pressure, and let your game do the talking. If Ja truly wants to reclaim his place as one of the league's brightest stars, this is the moment to prove it.
The Ja Morant sweepstakes are heating up, and NBA teams are closely monitoring the situation, with the Kings leading the charge. Will he be traded before the deadline? What you think about this? Who will charge?
Were you and the coaching staff able to talk about what happened Friday and move on?
Y'all asked that question to them, huh?
What about for you?
Y'all asked that question, so y'all know the answer to that.
Do you feel like everything's been resolved?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
Well, yeah, but
There
we
you
didn't
go.
hear it from you.
Obviously, they can't go and tell y'all something I ain't say.
You feel like you got the same joy right now that we used to see from you?
No.
Why not?
What can be done to get it back?
We'll see.
Do you think you have a good relationship with the franchise
Yeah.
in general?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
I didn't say anything about that.
If I had a good relationship, I wouldn't talk to him at all. So, and we had our combos over these.
Do you have any regrets about the way you played on Friday night in the second half?
You said what?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played in the game? I'm not talking about the
That's your
post-game
home
stuff.
run question? Sound like a bait question.